Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. It's really nice to see quite a few people on the call already. So thank you so much for joining our information and Q&A session today for our upcoming Sustainability Project Officer Programme. So we are now live on YouTube, but we are also being recorded today and will be available to rewatch, pause, recap any sections that you might wish at a later point. Also, for anyone who's unable to attend the live session today, you'll be able to watch this back and hopefully not miss out on any of the key information that we are covering today. So there is a chat function on YouTube, so please do feel free to pop through any questions that you might have. Just a reminder just to be respectful and kind of everyone in the comments section, but also please do use it for any questions or any clarification that you might want on today's topic. So I think a good place to start is by introducing myself. So my name is Grace. I'm one of our admissions operations managers here at Generation and responsible for the application process for our upcoming Sustainability Project Officer Programme. Someone else that you might speak to quite a lot during the application process is my colleague Amelia, who's one of our associates here at Generation. So it'll be myself and Amelia who'll be guiding you through the whole application process. We're incredibly lucky today as well, as we have a special guest joining us. They'll be joining us by about 3:40 today. We've got about an hour for today's session, so they should be joining us for the last 20 minutes, and that is Pfizer. Pfizer is one of our graduates from the Sustainability Project Officer Programme, and she also sits on our alumni board. So she graduated from the programme, is now absolutely thriving in a role within the sustainability sector. So we'll hear a little bit from her about her experience on programme and also the role that she is in now. So like I've mentioned, today's information session is for our upcoming Sustainability Project Officer Programme, which is due to begin on the 10th of November. So we'll be covering quite a few different things during today's session. We'll start off with an introduction to Generation, so who we are, insight into the sustainability industry and what roles are available to you, insight into the Sustainability Project Officer Programme that we run here at Generation, insight into the curriculum, what you'll be learning, the mentoring support offered by us, and also the admissions process. So what are the next steps in the application and how do you be successful as well? So I think a good place to kick off is giving you a little bit of a backstory about Generation and who exactly we are. So Generation UK and Ireland, we are a charity. We first launched in the UK in 2019 and in Ireland in 2020, although we originally started in the US back in 2015. And Generation was created after spotting a really clear gap in the job market. So on one side, you've got employers, especially within industries like tech, healthcare, and the green economy, who are actively hiring but really struggling to find people with the right skills. And then on the other side, there are lots of people out there who are unemployed or underemployed, really eager to work, but they either don't have the technical skills needed or the right access to certain training or career pathways. So Generation was created to bridge that gap, connecting motivated job seekers with the skills that employers are actually looking for. And we do this by running free training programs that are designed specifically to help people develop in-demand skills and also launch life-changing careers that might otherwise feel out of reach. And our programs, they are short and intensive, typically full-time, so Monday till Friday, and everything we teach is developed in partnership with employers, so really relevant to the real job that you'll hopefully land at the end of completing one of our programs. As part of the bootcamp, learners get practical training, hands-on experience and one-to-one support throughout, and we will also connect our learners directly with employers to help them through the application and interview process. So you can see on the screen here that globally Generation runs in 17 countries and over 300 cities, and so far we have helped more than 120,000 people graduate from our programs and move into work, and we also partner with over 3,000 employers around the world. And we really do like to keep in touch with those employers to see how our graduates are performing, and 84% of them have said that Generation graduates actually outperform those who potentially came through more traditional routes like maybe university or previous experience. So we know that our model works and we're really excited to support even more people into fantastic jobs. So where do all of our graduates go on to work? And the short answer is all over the place. So we've seen learners move into roles in big name companies, like you can see on the screen here. So Sainsbury's, PlayStation, Just Eat, Cancer Research, and even within government departments as well. And that really is just the tip of the iceberg, all of these names on the screen here. There are over 200 other employers that we can't even fit on this screen, but that we have supported our graduates into work with. So we can see a further look into where some of our sustainability project officer graduates have gone on to work at, including Pfizer, who I already mentioned will be joining us a little bit later on to talk about her experiences. But graduates from Generations UK a Generation Sustainability Project Officer programme have gone on to work a range of roles. So you can see here different companies such as Energy Saving Trust, E.ON, Qbot, United Living, Agility Eco and Groundwork, just to name a few. So those roles, they may be hands-on technical roles and maybe supporting residents, managing projects, or so whatever your interest, there really is a place for you. And hopefully our programme will give you the training, skills and connections to step right into one of these roles and be part of this really growing industry. So Generation, we operate across 6 different regions. So that is Scotland, Yorkshire, London, Manchester, Ireland and West Midlands. But for this programme, so for our Sustainability Project Officer programme that is beginning in November, we are accepting applicants from Manchester, Scotland, Yorkshire, London and West Midlands. So to kick us off today, I thought we'd start off with a really quick quiz just to warm us all up, and that is where that chat function will come into good use. I can already see a couple of people are using it, so it's fantastic to see. So I have a question for all of you. So by which year has the UK government legally committed to reaching net zero carbon emissions? So we've got 3 options here. So option A, 2030, B, 2050, or C, 2065. So please put A, B or C into the chat. Fab, so we've already got a couple answers here. We've got an A, we've got 2050, which is B. So a few good, different answers here. What else? What does everyone else think? I won't leave you in suspense for too long. Oh, okay, fantastic. So we've got another A, we've got a B, a C and a B as well. So we've really got a range of answers here. Fantastic. So, like I say, I won't keep you in suspense. So the answer is 2050. So the UK is legally committed to reaching net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. This target was signed into law in 2019 and making the UK the first major economy to set a legally binding net zero goal. And net zero is the balancing of total greenhouse gas emissions produced with those that are also removed from the atmosphere. And in short, net zero equals more green jobs. The UK's push for net zero is creating hundreds of thousands of jobs in clean energy, electric vehicles, home insulation and green tech. And estimates are by 2030, up to 725,000 new green jobs could have been added. So it's not just good for the planet, but also a massive opportunity for careers and also local economies as well. So let's talk a little bit about the green sector. So what is this green sector and sustainability that you've heard me talk about? So the green sector is one of the most exciting and fast growing parts of the UK economy. It's made up of industries that are actively working to protect our planet, cut carbon emissions and promote sustainability. So you can think things like renewable energy, so wind farms, solar, hydropower, sustainable transport. So you may think electric cars or investment in public transport, cycling, recycling systems, waste reduction, and also retrofitting homes to make them more energy efficient. So you can see here that there's quite a lot of key areas that are the focus of the green sector. But you may be thinking, why does this all matter? And it really matters because we have that legal promise to hit net zero by 2050. And with buildings responsible for about a third of our emissions, we really need skilled people to help us get to that promise. And the sector isn't just good for the environment, it is creating thousands of new jobs and opportunities across the country. So whether you're interested in tech, engineering, nature or design, there really is a place for you in the green economy. And what does this mean for you? It means opportunity. The green sector is really booming, and it's not just for those scientists or engineers that we've mentioned. It is for anyone who wants to make a difference, and roles like sustainability project officers are helping drive real change in local communities, businesses, and government as well. And with the UK's focus on making homes more energy efficient, there is a huge demand for retrofit specialists, so people who advise, assess, coordinate, and install upgrades to buildings. So as you can see on the screen here, there are a few different roles that fit within underneath that retrofit hub. So retrofit advisors, assessors, coordinators, energy efficient installers as well. So we'll dive into these roles in a little bit more detail and retrofit as a whole as we go on to the next few slides. But these jobs don't just help the planet, they help people. They help reduce energy bills, improve living conditions, and also help to build healthier and more sustainable communities. So if you are thinking about your future, the green sector is a really smart and meaningful path forward. So we've got a video here which I really hope works for everyone, as it is going to delve a little bit deeper into retrofit, what it is, what roles look like, and a bit more about the green economy. So you'll all have to let me know in the chat function whether or not you can hear this. I hope you can. So just bear with me 2 seconds. You'll have to give me a thumbs up if you can hear this okay. Should be playing for you.
The climate crisis is real, and it's happening now. We need people trained in green sector skills to help us combat the impact of climate change. That's where retrofit advisors come in. Retrofit advisors improve the energy efficiency of our homes and buildings by assessing how to reduce both environmental damage and household bills. Retrofit advisors work directly with the customer, providing consultations, solving problems, and finding innovative solutions for their homes and offices. And as the green sector expands to tackle critical climate change issues, the demand for retrofitters has rocketed. The climate crisis is causing global warming and extreme weather conditions around the world. Green jobs, such as retrofit advisor roles, work actively to combat climate change and limit its effects on the world around us. Roughly 25 million homes in the UK and Ireland are substandard in terms of energy efficiency. These homes need to be improved by installing new forms of heating, such as heat pumps and solar thermal heating systems, or upgrading the insulation of properties to improve energy efficiency. By doing this on a large scale, we can dramatically reduce our environmental impact. On the Generation Retrofit course, you'll learn fundamental skills needed to become a retrofit advisor. You'll engage in interactive learning sessions with a qualified instructor, where you will learn technical skills including how homes and buildings are put together, problem solving, assisting with the management of projects, and how to give top quality retrofit advice to customers. We'll introduce you to hiring employers as soon as you complete the course and guide you through your interviews to help you secure the job. Generation has supported 50,000 people into life-changing careers worldwide. Will you be next? Apply today to launch your career in the green sector.
Brilliant. I'm so glad that did work. So thank you so much, everyone, for giving me a thumbs up there to let me know you could hear that. That was fantastic. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of an idea about retrofit and also what is taught on the programme, but we will be delving into it in a little bit more detail over the next few slides as well. So to summarise, why should you get into the green sector? Well, firstly, it really matters. Virtually every organisation in the world is figuring out how to be greener. And we also discussed that the UK has a target to be net zero by 2050. So there is a really robust industry. It is hugely in demand as well. So a really growing market, where estimates are saying we need over 10,000 retrofit advisors by 2025 to meet the UK target. targets, and that will continue to increase whilst we still have that goal of hitting that net zero target by 2050. There's great progression as well within retrofit roles. We're seeing starting salaries around £25,000 a year, leading up to about 30,000 within a few years, but we will touch a little bit more around progression over the next few slides. And you keep learning as well whilst you're earning. So within the roles, you'll constantly be keeping up to date with new technologies that are being improved and also updated. So you really will continue to have that continuous learning element to your role. So I hope the last few slides have illustrated to you how much the sector and opportunities are growing, but with that does come competitiveness. So a lot of people are interested in the opportunities in the sector and what they have to offer. So this is hopefully where Generation and our Sustainability Project Officer programme comes in, and we will help to train you to help you stand out from the crowd, connect you with those employees who are actively hiring, and we do this through our curriculum. So our curriculum is designed with what employers are looking for in mind, and we work really closely with those employees to make sure that what we are teaching on the programme will help you get set up for success in your first role within the industry. So now what we'll do is we'll have a little bit more of a look around the retrofit advisor role. So a retrofit advisor is commonly also known as sustainability project officer. So if I do use those two terms interchangeably, that is what I mean. But we'll have a little bit more of a look around the role and what is involved. So it's a really brilliant starting point for anyone who's super passionate about sustainability, but also great with people as well, as retrofit advisors are the bridge between the more technical retrofit solutions and also everyday households. So you would help to people to understand how to make their homes greener, more efficient and affordable to run. So it is really a mix between technical knowledge and great customer service. So you may explain things like installation, solar panels, heating systems, but also guide people through the funding, timelines and choices. You'll work under the guidance of a retrofit coordinator or manager, and your role will vary depending on where you're based. So it may be within a local authority or a housing association or specialist energy services company. But hopefully you can see from the slide there is a real mix between that technical side and the customer service side. So you'll act as the first point of contact for homeowners and tenants, and you'll help them understand different energy efficiency measures, like we've mentioned, insulation, heat pump, solar panels. You'll really be a champion of how retrofitting improves home performance and reduces carbon emissions. And so you also have to translate this quite complex retrofit technical terms and information into clear, practical advice for those who potentially don't have as much knowledge as you do around retrofitting. So we'll explore now where potentially the career could lead to. So once you do qualify as a retrofit advisor, your career can develop in a lot of different directions. You could go on to progress to a retrofit assessor or a coordinator, or you may choose to specialise in a particular area such as insulation, ventilation or renewable energy systems. You may choose to move into project management or sustainability consultancy, and each step brings with it more responsibility, more technical depth, and ultimately higher pay as well. So as you can see, the beginning starting salaries are around 25,000, but they can really progress as you do move up that progression path. So if you are looking for a career that is meaningful, people-focused, future-proof, then a retrofit advisor could be a really great place for you to start. I think it's helpful as well for us to go through a bit around what a day in a life for a retrofit advisor looks like, as you may be thinking, this all sounds fantastic, but what will I be doing in the day-to-day, and what could an average day in a life look like? So as a retrofit advisor, your day would likely start with checking in with your team, so reviewing any updates that you have from ongoing projects, any new referrals or urgent issues that might need attention, and then it's time to get stuck in. So first up, you may connect with households, so you may speak with the residents to understand their needs, explain the retrofit process and make sure that they feel confident in the changes that are being made to their home. Everyone's situation is completely different. No two houses or households are the same. So you will tailor your advice and provide clear, friendly guidance. And then with that comes the practical side. So you may be carrying out property assessments, recording key details like installation, heating systems, energy use, and spotting opportunities for improvement. You'll then input this information into the system so that the right measures can be recommended. And then throughout the day, you may be involved in supporting residents with grant applications or paperwork, liaising with contractors to schedule surveys or installations, checking on progress of existing retrofit works and ensuring standards are being met. You may provide energy saving tips and reassurance to households. So like I say, no 2 days are ever the same. Every home and every resident brings a new challenge and a new chance to make a difference. But hopefully by the end of the day, you'll have helped people feel supported, contributed to warmer, healthier homes, and played a real key part in tackling climate change within your community. So now what we'll do is we'll go on to a little bit more detail about the Sustainability Project Officer programme that we are running here at Generation, and the one that hopefully you have started your application for or you're interested in applying for. So our programme is due to begin on the 10th of November. So it will run for 10 weeks in total, and during those 10 weeks it is Monday till Friday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m, and it is completely free of cost to everyone who enrolls onto the programme. With that, we do have some eligibility criteria that you will need to satisfy in order to be considered for a place on the programme, and so we'll go through that in a little bit more detail now. So to be eligible for the programme, you'll need to be, if you're based in England, you'll need to be over the age of 19. If you're based in Scotland, you'll need to be over the age of 18. This programme, like we mentioned in earlier slides, is open to applicants who are based in London, West Midlands, West Yorkshire, Greater Manchester, or Scotland, specifically in Glasgow. So you also need to not currently be in education, training, or work. If you are working a 0 hours contract or a part-time contract up to about 16 hours a week, that is absolutely fine. We do just ask that it is within the evenings or on the weekends, so not during that Monday till Friday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. schedule. You also need to have the legal right to work and live within the UK, and also be available for the full 10 weeks of the programme and potentially ready to start a full-time job upon completion as well. So what is in it for you if you enrol onto one of our programs? So like I mentioned, our training is completely free, and you do get a qualification at the end of it. And that qualification is the AIM Level 3 Certificate in Domestic Retrofit Advice. So we will cover this in a little bit more detail over the next few slides and what that looks like. But like I mentioned, it is completely free of cost. At no point will any cost be associated with your learning. All of the learning is done remotely, so it's all done online. So you're able to learn from the comfort of your own space. You spend tons of time with your live instructor. You have loads of opportunities to ask questions, request additional support where needed. So although it is online, it is really, really interactive. We've got a live instructor, like I mentioned, you've got mentors, and also your peers on the programme as well. So it really is a fantastic community. You also get access to one-to-one mentoring. So we'll move on to this in a bit more detail over the next few slides. But you do get access to a dedicated mentor who's there to help with your soft skills. So your instructor is there for the technical knowledge, and your mentor is there to support you with pastoral support, employability support, learning support, and just really giving you the best chance of completing the programme and setting you up for success beyond as well. We will also connect you with employers, so we connect our learners on the bootcamp for interviews for full-time roles upon completion. Unlike traditional training programs, our goal is to get you employed at the end, not just to teach you new skills. So this is a really important distinction. So at the end of the course, we want you to be job ready, and we will support you with getting interviews and with applications. If you also need a laptop or internet access to complete the programme, we can lend this to you free of charge. So if you are offered a place on the programme, you'll fill out a form and you can request a laptop from us. We can offer a camera as well if you need a camera, or a Wi-Fi dongle, so we can offer this to you as well. And you can also continue to receive your benefits as well if you are already receiving these. If you're not already receiving these, then our mentors can help you and guide you on how to do this as well. So now we'll look a little bit more about what actually life in the classroom looks like and what this looks like during those 10 weeks of the programme. So it really is a mix of delivery and employment support. So the delivery would be instructor-led, so that'll be your instructor guiding you through new subject matters and new parts around the curriculum. And we expect active participation from all of our learners, as we find this is the best way for you to learn a lot of information quite quickly over the 10 weeks. You may be doing group sessions on Teams or some self-study, but then also a lot of it is that employability support, so you may be doing employability sessions with a focus on your CV, cover letter. We'll do mock interviews with you. We'll connect you with hiring employers and really help you with that transition support into employment. And this is a little bit of an example of a typical day within the classroom. By no means is this the same for every single day, but just a bit of an example. So you can see that we start at 9 o'clock and you finish at 5 p.m. each day. We do expect you to log on and log any absence or sickness if you are unwell at the beginning of the day. We will teach you like professionals, so we really expect you to treat this like a job, as it is ultimately training for a job. So you'd likely kick off the day with daily openings, talking about the importance of community building at the beginning of the course. That's really important for us, as you do spend 10 weeks on the programme with your peers and with your instructors, mentors, so you will create a fantastic community with everyone. It won't feel like school whatsoever. There's tons of interactive sessions, and you can see that you'd likely start the day with a new technical topic, potentially in the afternoon go into a breakout room to apply those technical skills. You may finish the day on an employability session where you'll be reviewing CVs, etc. So there's tons of different bits that I include in the day, and like I say, this by no means the same every day, but just a bit of an example of what an average day could look like for you. So what we'll do now is we'll go through the curriculum in a bit more detail, which is the curriculum on the Sustainability Project Officer programme. So our curriculum, it really is a mix of different things. So it's not just the technical tools that you need, it is a complete package which is designed to help prepare you for the world of work. As we know, the technical skills are only part of the picture. We'll also focus on the behaviours and mindsets that help you succeed in the workplace. So things like being detail-oriented, a good communicator, curious, problem-solving, etc. So key traits of successful professionals within the green industry. You'll practice working independently and in a team, just like you would in a real job, and we'll really focus on those mindsets as well. So things around having a growth mindset, being resilient, and taking ownership of your learning and progress. So we really hope by the end of the programme you will have built skills in 3 areas. So your technical skills, your professional behaviours, and a positive career-focused mindset. So you'll leave with not just the knowledge, but also confidence and readiness to start your career in sustainability. So we'll have a little bit more of a look now about your learning experience and what to expect. So like I mentioned, you will be covering those technical skills, so you know how homes use energy, why retrofit matters, and what a role as an advisor involves. You'll also dip into practical topics, so things like giving advice, supporting customers, and maintaining professional standards. But your learning is not just theory, it's all very interactive, so you will take part in live sessions, role plays, simulated scenarios to build confidence and hopefully apply these to real life situations. So all of the learning is done on Microsoft Teams, so done all online, and you'll complete a portfolio for each module to earn your level 3 qualification. At the end, you will complete your endpoint assessment, and this will be shown to an external assessor, which will show what you've learned and how ready you are for the role. But if you ever need extra support, there are one-to-one mentoring sessions, so you do have a dedicated mentor who is there to support you with that. And like I say, hopefully the programme will give you the knowledge, skills, and the confidence that you need to move into a green career. So we'll now move a little bit more detail into the curriculum. So there is a lot of information on the next few slides, so I'd really recommend you re-watch back this recording. You can pause it at any point and look into a little bit more detail over any specific bits that you may be interested in. But I'll show you here. So the first part of the programme is really about laying the groundwork for your role as a retrofit advisor. You'll explore how homes use energy and why retrofitting is a big part of the UK strategy to reach net zero. You'll learn about the climate impact of housing and how improving energy efficiency can help reduce emissions and lower bills as well. A lot of the focus is around the structure as well of UK homes, how they're built, where they lose energy, and what can be done to improve them. This may be things like understanding fuel poverty and how retrofit measures can make homes warmer, healthier, and more affordable. Then you move into also the technical side of it, so heat loss, insulation, energy ratings, etc. You'll learn about retrofit targets and how to measure performance and how to identify risks. So like I say, there's a lot of information on this slide, so do feel free to pause it when you do watch it back. But not only will you be taught all of the technical things, also you'll learn about the people skills and behaviours that make a great retrofit advisor as well. So things like communicating clearly, confidently, so whether that's by email or phone or in person, how to handle customer issues, manage expectations, and also support people through what can sometimes be a confusing or sometimes emotional process. This is their homes that they're talking about and their own money as well. So we'll cover how to manage those expectations. All of this will ultimately lead to your level 3 certificate in domestic retrofit advice. And to earn this certificate, you'll complete portfolios for each module and take part in a final practical assessment with an external assessor. So by the end of the programme, hopefully you will be equipped with not just this knowledge, but also the confidence skills and skills to step into the green sector. And again, this is going into the behavioural skills, mindsets, and employment essentials that will be taught on the programme. Again, a lot of information here, so we won't run through it all completely, but it really is about building those core behavioural skills, so things like communication, organisation, adaptability, the right mindsets. You'll also take part in employment essential sessions, which covers everything from CV writing to interview prep, and then ultimately you'll reach the placement phase, which is what we'll touch on a little bit after, so life after the bootcamp and your transition into work. But it is really a holistic approach that we take to our programmes, and really person-centred, so really about your journey and ultimately what you would like to end the programme with. So I've mentioned a little bit about mentor support already, but I think it's helpful for us also to dive into what mentoring support is offered on the programme and what that could look like. So it is completely one-to-one, so you will be assigned a mentor at the beginning of the programme, and our mentors, they are specialised in adult learning experiences, and they come with tons of experience from various sectors, including education, charities, and training support, so they really are equipped with the right knowledge on how best to support you. So they'll help you with those soft skills, so things like motivation, goal setting, future orientation, etc., and really helping giving you the best opportunity to complete the programme and be set up for success beyond. They also offer pastoral care and wellbeing support, which is completely tailored and individualised to your needs and your situation to really make sure that you feel supported over those 10 weeks. So there's three phases of the mentor support. So even before you're on the programme or you've got an offer for the programme, we have a one-to-one meeting between yourself and one of our learning support team members to discuss what support you might need on the programme. And when you are given your offer, you'll meet again before starting the programme. It then continues throughout those 10 weeks where you'll continue to have that one-to-one support. So you'll have meetings, set personalised goals or certain coaching that you may require, and also afterwards as well. So our support doesn't stop after the 10 weeks. We'll support you with getting ready for interviews, supporting your job search, and ultimately building confidence as well. And we fully understand that starting a bootcamp may feel overwhelming. It's 10 weeks of meeting new people, learning new content, and preparing for a new career whilst you're still juggling your home life and your responsibilities. And we know that life does not stop whilst you're on the programme, so that is why our mentors are here. So they are here to support you for this during the programme and beyond. So we do get quite a few questions, so hopefully these questions cover some of the key ones that we often get. So we get the question, what if I get ill on the programme? What if I need to take a day off? We do completely understand, like I say, life does not stop. So if this does happen, you need to take a day off. This will be why you contact your mentor, so you discuss with them about a catch-up plan, and they may make some materials available to you so you can go ahead and review this when you are back, so to make sure that you haven't missed out on any key content when you do return back to the programme. What financial support is available. So like I say, the programme is completely free and you can continue to receive your benefits alongside the programme. If you aren't receiving these, we can also support you in how to do that as well. And if you don't have a laptop or suitable Wi-Fi, we can also support with this as well. So we can lend laptops, Wi-Fi dongles, cameras as well during the programme, so if that is something you need. So we've covered quite a lot about the curriculum and also how we will support you, but I think also helpful for us to touch on what we expect from our learners. Like I say, we will be treating this almost like a job, because we will be ultimately training you up for a job. So the commitment that we would look for you during the programme is, for our graduates, we would expect them to have at least 90% attendance on the bootcamp. We have a camera on policy throughout the programme. So we would ask you to have full kind of engagement and commitment with this. Obviously, if you do need to turn it off for whatever reason, if you've got someone at the door or you want to step away for a second or two, that is absolutely fine. We do just ask that you just communicate it with our mentors and our instructors. So we would require you to be committed to the full 10 weeks of the programme, also be willing to participate in our style of learning. Like I've mentioned, it is very interactive. We would also ask you, if you are a parent, to have childcare plans in place and have this ahead of kind of applying for the programme. So think about how will you manage your childcare responsibilities alongside a 10-week programme that is Monday till Friday, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. And we'd also ask you to communicate with us as well. So keep in touch with us during the programme and afterwards as well, just so we can support you in any way that we can. So once you graduate from the programme, you then move into what we call our placement phase, which is 6 months long. And this is all around focused on helping you secure a role. And this phase is very much learner driven, so driven by you, but Generation are here to support you every step of the way. And we see two typical routes into work. So we firstly see the self-apply, so you'll find roles yourself and you'll apply to them directly. And we also see Generation sourced roles, so roles that we find and match you to. But either way, we will always support you with the applications, interview prep, and also navigating offers as well. And so our commitment to you during this time is to really support you. So to create a tailored plan, which is tailored to your individual needs. We'll continue with one-to-one and group coaching. So you have an employability coach and a placement manager. We will do regular check-ins with you. We will connect you with hiring employers and interviews for roles. And once you do find a role, so once you are placed into a role, we'll continue helping you with that transition into work. And if you're still searching for a role, we'll continue to support you throughout those 6 months as well. So like I say, we will help you with all of these things, help you with your CV, preparing for interviews, encourage you to reflect on any interview feedback and build resilience, and ultimately as well, help celebrate your success. That is something that we are really committed to helping you with, and really help you build those skills to get you ready to succeed in your new role as well. And so your commitment during the placement phase, we'd really ask you to be proactive in your job search. So to apply for both our roles, so Generation sourced role, and also self-found roles as well. We typically expect you to apply for at least 5 jobs a week, and to help keep your application tracker updated. We'd ask you to attend the check-ins and respond to our messages as well during the 6 months, so we can continue to help you and make sure that you're receiving the support that you need. We'd ask you to be open open to suitable roles as well, and make sure any childcare or visas that you may need are in place. And again, tell us when you found a role so we can celebrate you and the role that you have found. Fantastic. So we're just moving into now the final stage of today's session, which we are looking around the application process. So you may think all of this sounds fantastic. How do I apply? So we currently have applications open at the moment, and this is a bit of an overview of the application process and what to expect during that. So you'll kick off by applying for the programme through our applicant portal. You can find this on our website. You'll need to fill in some details, so about yourself, and check your eligibility for the programme. You'll then complete a sustainability quiz, and then you'll likely hit a hold in your application. Once you hit that hold in your application, we are actively reviewing applications, and then we will invite you to a group task and an interview session. So our group task and interview sessions, we hold them over Google Meet, and they're typically about an hour long. So the first half of the session is the group task, which will be held over Google Meet. And the session is a really great opportunity for us to get to know you a bit better, assess your key skills such as communication, teamwork, and problem solving, while also giving you a taste of our interactive learning approach, so you really get to see what that style is like. So what you can expect then, so you'll join a small group of other applicants, and you'll be guided by a facilitator from Generation, and that is likely myself or maybe my colleague Amelia. And so no preparation is needed whatsoever. You'll just come along, participate, and be yourself. And it's really fun. They're quite informal, just a really good chance for you to feel what our style of learning is like on the programme. And then the second half of that hour-long session is for you to move into your individual interview, which will be you'll normally be placed into a breakout room, and you'll be joined by a member of the Generation team who will run through a couple different interview questions with you. One of the questions is around a role play that you would have been sent ahead of time. So we'd really encourage you to read through that role play and come prepared to answer questions around the role play that we have provided. So once you've completed your group task and interview, if successful, we'll move you on to the final stage of our application process, which is called a support needs conversation. So what this looks like then, so this is a short Teams video call between yourself and one of our learning support team members, and it's a really good chance for you to connect with them. So they'll ask you a few questions about yourself and about what support you might need on the programme. And this is a really key part of the application process for us, as we get to understand what support you might need during those 10 weeks, and we can make sure that you get that from day one. So once you have completed all of those stages, you are all up to speed, and we will start sending out application outcomes between the 24th and the 31st of October. And so that is when you can expect an outcome or your offer. We normally send this via email, so we'd really ask you to keep an eye on your emails during this time, and then the bootcamp will kick off on the 10th of November. So if you are successful in receiving your place on the programme, you will need to upload some eligibility documents as part of accepting your offer. So the first of which is your right to work document, and the second of which is your proof of current address. So this is only if you are successful in receiving a place on the programme, and we will guide you through what you can upload, what not to upload when you reach this stage of your application. But I think it's really important just to include it here, just so you start having a little bit of a think about what documents you do have handy and start getting these ready. As like I say, you will need to upload these if you are successful. And finally, I thought it would be useful to upload, to have a little bit of a slide here to show you about a learner or profile that we would be looking for. So what is an ideal applicant for us? So for us, we're really looking for people who have an interest in the green industry and technology. Do you have clear verbal and written communication? Are your digital literacy skills good? So are you able to navigate different kind of Microsoft products? Do you have some familiarity with Google Drive as well? That could be helpful. But also people who are actively looking for employment. So have you faced any challenges to seeking employment? Do you have a clear commitment to the bootcamp and the 10 weeks of the programme? And are you willing to learn to build a lifelong career in the green sector? So like I say, you don't need to be a green expert or whatever, or have any advanced knowledge or experience in the sector. Only an interest in pursuing this career choice is required. So fantastic. So we have nearly reached the end of our slides, and I think we're in fantastic time because I think Pfizer has joined us. So let me see if I can add you here, Pfizer. See if you're here. There she is.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Pfizer. How are you?
I'm great, thanks, Grace. I decided to join from my phone as my laptop. It's not working. Oh, was it because I was muted? I could.
Oh, I'm not too sure, but we can hear you loud and clear here, so that's absolutely fine for us if it's all good for you.
I think. I can...
You're on the big screen now. Oh, thank you so much for joining. So for everyone on the call today, this is Pfizer. So Pfizer is a graduate from our Sustainability Project Officer Programme. So we have invited her along today to share all of her knowledge and all of her experiences on the programme. So I might just hand over to you, Pfizer, if you'd like to tell us a little bit about you and a bit about your experience on the programme and beyond.
Yeah, sure. By the way, can you all still hear me? Is it all good? I think I kind of switched to my mic.
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear. It might be helpful if someone can give a thumbs up in the chat function if you can still hear us.
Okay.
Oh, we've got a yes, so I think we're all good to go.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so hi everyone. It's lovely to be here today. So my name is Faisa, and I studied the retrofit advisor. I'm sure now it's called sustainability project officer. So I thought I will tell you a bit more about myself first. So I was part of the bootcamp back in 2022, October's time, and then continued all the way to January 2023. And for me, I came across the bootcamp as I wasn't always in sustainability, or I didn't know anything about retrofit. So I was searching for like bootcamps instead of like doing a degree. I thought it would be a bit long to actually go back to uni and do a whole degree on sustainability. So I've been searching about it, and then I came across Generation. It was like the only thing. So a lot of people would tell me, oh, they kind of thought it was a bit of sounded too good to be true. But for me, I just found it one night, and I was like, you know what, this is exactly what I'm looking for. There's no any other place that's doing this retrofit thing. So I was like, no, I'm gonna just jump on it, and decided to apply and submit my application. So that's how I came across Generation first. And throughout the journey, first, one of the things that I've learned about itself was like sustainability and like what does it mean? What does retrofit mean? Because I did not know again that word. And for me, I was like really, really eager to learn. So I think one important thing is like having that mindset, having that openness to really discover new terminologies, new sector. And so I have a degree in business management, and so I was always into business and climate change, but it was like my passion and kind of reading about it on the side. So studying retrofit was like my first step into because I've always wanted to work and have a career that has bigger purpose than just doing actual work. So I was like, it's great for the data and business, and it could help businesses and people. But I was like, what about the planet? So that's where I was like, let me link both my interest and my passion together. And being in this space, addressing climate change and learning about sustainability was like that link. And yeah, Generation really helped me connect those two. And fast forward to when I joined the bootcamp, learning about, so you won't just learn about, retrofit and what does it mean to have the fabric of the building in terms of insulation, heating, lighting addressed, and what's the benefit that come from this improving these measures. But also you will learn about growth mindset and all the other employability side of things, which really surprised me. And till today I talk about the growth mindset because I think it's really important to always have that eagerness to learn, having open minded, as in when you do complete the program in terms of the roles you want, they have different all sort of names. So in my current role, I'm known as a development officer. So what I do is I work at the Energy Saving Trust, addressing the climate emergency and helping businesses to really be as energy efficient as possible. So within Energy Saving Trust, I'm part of the Business Energy Scotland team. So we help Scottish businesses on how to reduce cost and save on electricity and carbon as well. But cost comes first for them, so which is normal. But if they do reduce cost and implement energy efficiency measures, then that potentially will lead to reducing carbon as well. So yeah, that's where carbon emissions and carbon footprint comes in. Yeah, so my day to day, what I do is I sit in consultations with the clients. So I actually work from home, and most of my team are based in Scotland. I do go into the London office. Our company has different offices across the UK, and once a year or twice we do go down to Scotland as well, just to meet the team. And another time we also have like a workshop thing that usually happens. So those are the two times, but it's pretty much in different months. So I was like, I don't mind 4 hours on the train. We have a company policy that we're not allowed to take a flight or plane, so that was surprising too, but expected. So yeah, those 4 hours. Usually we just have conversations. Really, we don't do much work, but that's how we spend it. And so it's fun every day. I do work from home. I love working from home. It's just a time that I get back from, not having to travel. And if you live in London, you probably know that you have to have plan A, plan B, and C when it comes to travel. Things get cancelled and all the other things that happen. So working from home really gives me that flexibility and just connecting to businesses. So we usually do consultations through video calls like Teams or a telephone call. So in those consultations, basically what happens is we just understand their need, where they're currently at. So some clients would say, I just want to improve my lighting to begin with. Some would say, I want an air source heat pump, and or some want the whole package, so the whole fabric of the building. So it's just for us to really understand their needs and then scope the project and pass it to the technical team, who would actually do either another telephone audit or like do a site visit, going to these businesses and just seeing their sites. Site visits don't happen to every project. It's just for those projects that are like really, really complex projects, buildings that are large, but also listed ones as well. So usually church buildings are really old, 100 years, 150, and they're listed as well. So a lot of things we do cover is day in and day out. We just understand, what does it mean, what can we implement in listed buildings and what can we not, which is something I learned on the job. So it's like it's covered in training, which is really exciting. What excites me about this field is just that learning every day. And it's at the beginning it was a bit overwhelming because it's obviously is a new field, and you might feel like I'm getting all this information in 10 weeks. But I would just say trust the process and really go with the flow, because and take it easy. So if you don't understand something in a lecture or on the day, I would highly suggest revisiting it back. That really makes the whole difference. And yeah, so there were a lot of concepts I didn't understand or didn't sit with me, and I was like, I'm going to revisit it back in a day or two, and then it did make sense. But also asking questions during the boot camp. So obviously you're there from 9 to 5, so really build that community, build that sense of I'm not just in a classroom, but these are the people I will be studying with, and in the future will be working with as well. So till today I'm connected to my cohort, and we have like a WhatsApp chat. So it's nice to see and just share ideas and life updates. So yeah, so that's pretty much the life on the bootcamp and a little bit on after. But another thing I want to talk about is the bootcamp as well after post program. So when you finish the program, there's that post program period where you'll be applying for jobs and sending out CVs. So for me, I've had few tips. So I was really excited. I'm like, yay, I've learned all this and I really want to put it out there. But one thing that helped me is just to sit down and really kind of figure out, what do I want? Do I like a role that is out in the field, going and seeing this lovely renewable options, whether it's solar panels or heat pumps, or do I want to like that flexibility of remote work, working from home? But then if I also want to go to the office, then I will go. Or do I want like 3 days office or 2 days home? So it's like really figuring out what works for you, and then applying for the jobs. And job titles in this sector, they're really interesting: development officers, business energy advisors, home energy advisors. One thing I really liked was the green doctor. I really wanted to be called a green doctor, but that was one thing. So it does come different names, but the job role itself is pretty much the same, giving energy efficiency advice to homeowners, so individuals, or to businesses, which is a little bit different. But the company, once you are in the role, they will give you all the essential training. That a building is really a building. It has windows, lighting, insulation. So it's like commercial building as well as a domestic one. So a few things different, but pretty much everything you learn in the book can cover it. So till today, I do actually go back and refer back to a few of the slides till this day. So I would say really keep a note of that and just use it all over, like over and over again. It does help. That mindset, I think, is a big thing, really having that growth mindset, which you will learn about after you join the bootcamp. But it's just really having that openness and always the eagerness to learn, as it's a sector that is moving fast. So things do get updated every few months, new renewable technologies come up. So it's like, how can I learn? How can I develop in this sector? And yeah, once you obviously finish the program, I would highly suggest just take that time to really reflect and say, what's my strength? What am I good at? Do I enjoy working from home, or do I enjoy technical roles where I actually want to be out there in the field? So yeah, all this kind of work together to really make up that what you prefer and what works for you, and use your strength as well. I know it can be a bit overwhelming. You're like, I don't have much choice. It's like I really want to find like a role as soon as possible. It took me just over 4 weeks to actually land my current role at the Energy Saving Trust. So, but a lot of it was really just sitting down and kind of practicing the interview questions over and over again, which you will get also. You will get to have mock interviews during the boot camp, which I highly suggest. Benefiting from those and really showing up to them like they are real interviews, so that you get that feedback, because feedback is really important, and that's the only way you can learn and kind of reflect on it and make sure that you are as confident as possible for those interviews. But yeah, everything you probably will need to get in a role and even perform really beyond and above expectations when you do get your first role is really taught in the boot camp. And yeah, that's why I love Generation, and I'm really connected till this day. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to speaking with some of you. I am on LinkedIn, so please do reach out if you have any questions about any stage of the bootcamp, whether you're planning to apply or whether you did apply. And yeah, any questions, I'm really happy to answer. And it's really exciting sector, and whether you're passionate about climate change or not, I feel like it is a sector that really provides great benefits for the people, but also for the planet, essentially. So yeah, I really look forward to connecting with as many of you as possible. Grace, are we taking questions? I don't think I can see the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Pfizer. I think it was a fantastic overview of pre-boot camp, on boot camp, and beyond. And so it was fantastic to hear that. And it's really nice as well to hear that you're still referring to some of your slides and your notes from when you were on the program as well, even to this day. So that's absolutely amazing. So we'd absolutely love to open up the floor for any questions that anyone might have. Appreciate we've only got about 3 minutes left of today's broadcast, but if anyone does have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat. I think we've just had one come in from Sim, so I'll pop this up on the screen now. So we've had career progression wise, how much opportunities do you see to progress while you're out in the field? Are there any more opportunities to study further, or do you even need to study further? So I'm wondering, Pfizer, if you could give any insight to kind of progression and anything that you've seen whilst you've been in your role.
Yeah, definitely. So this sector actually, things change every 6 months. There's like new skills you need to gain. So till today, companies do offer training. So just last May, I actually did masters on renewable technologies. So mainly heat pumps. So that was like 13 days master online thing from the Renewable Institute. So I've put it on my LinkedIn, which really went over, it was like getting a master degree in 13 days. Well, you could do it in a month, but I did it in 13 days just because the content was so engaging and I had a bit of time. So I just went over it. But yeah, you have that ongoing training that you do as part of your personal development. And what's great about it is that institutions like renewable institution of energy are the ones that are actually providing. So they are accredited body and really well known. So you could use that certificate not just for your current role, but if you were also applying for another company as well, you could use it. It's like it stays with you and that knowledge as well. It's up to date and very relevant what's happening in the field, and you could use it also as part of your day-to-day role. So I was advising on like renewables and heat pumps, but sometimes like you need to combine two heating systems. That then, from practicality side of things, if you're not too technical, you might say, "Oh, you know what? That's a question for the technical team." But after going through that program or the masters, I was like, you know what? I kind of know the solution now, and I can even kind of map it out. So it does increase your confidence. And I was highly suggest to even reach out to your company and say, I found this course and I really want to do it as part of my personal development, and the company funds it as well. So, and you get that time back as well in terms of, it's like your progression slash study time side of things. So yeah, but there's a lot of opportunities. So one thing I'm currently looking into is when it comes to, well, inside our organization, like process mapping and how AI can really enhance um, energy efficiency. So there's like a huge number of people outside, well, within the UK that don't really know what kind of opportunities there are. So we do get a lot of demand as well after hours. So one thing I'm really interested in going to the future is how can we utilize AI to really answer people's inquiries and just make sure that we give that daily support to people and businesses that want and needs it immediately as well. So yeah, there's great opportunities, and definitely skills wise as well. There's always trainings. They do provide within our organization monthly training on different measures. So one last month we covered installation. Next month we're going to cover voltage optimization. So it's like big technologies, but yeah, you get to learn one or two things every every day really. So that's really what's exciting. And yeah, and if you want to move to like a technical role after giving, so for me, I'm like, my role is pretty much like consultant, energy consultant, and it's sort of like, this is what's practical and what's really you could do, and just providing that knowledge, because when I speak to businesses, sometimes they're like, I really don't know anything about heat pumps. So it's like I could show you an animated diagram and kind of explain to you, and really simple English as well, because we don't want to use things like, heat pumps, they perform well, there's a CPO thing, and they'll be like, okay, what is that? So I try to really make it really fun, really easy. And you could see that from the customer feedback when they say, thank you so much. By the end of the call, I've definitely learned something today. Yeah, so there's definitely always great opportunities in terms of career progression, but also when you do join the sector.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It really does sound like a sector and a career path that you continuously learn in, because like you say, things change so quickly and new improvements or new technologies, etc. So it sounds like something really exciting to be a part of. I absolutely loved how you said that course would be a month, but you did it in half the time. That's just so impressive, and really does show that that growth mindset through and through. I love it. Fantastic. So we've had another question, which is a really good one. So, what is the employability rate of our graduates? Which is a really good question, and it obviously does vary across our different programs and different regions. Typically, we see about 2 in 3 of our learners who complete the programs go on into employment. But what we say about the placement phase and employment is it really is driven by you. So that placement phase is driven by your engagement in it, your proactivity during it, as well as we will match you up with employers. We will help you with that whole process. But ultimately, the placement phase is really driven by you. So the more engaged, proactive you are during that time and really taking on everything that we've taught you during the program, will really improve your chances of finding employment and within a career that you're really interested in as well. So that is hopefully something that will really guide you with during the program and beyond as well. And we've had our final question as well from Maya, so I'll go ahead and open this one up. So what is the most emerging or biggest sector in the industry at the moment? This is an interesting one. I don't know, Faisal, if you've experienced much of kind of up and coming sectors or up and coming things within the industry.
Yeah, so currently, I think renewable technologies, and in terms of, because we talked to the MCS organization, which is the Micro Generation Certification Scheme, and they're the industry standard body that trains installers to become those that install heat pumps, solar panels, and as well as wind turbines. So currently, wind energy is like the hot topic. So everyone is like, can I invest in like a wind turbine, which is really interesting. So definitely. And I'm sure if you follow the news, there's the GB Energy as well, that really has been established now. So they're really looking into investing a lot, especially in Scotland, around wind. It's pretty, it's winter and there's a lot of wind. So they said, how can we utilize it to really generate energy and reduce energy bills for the consumers? So yeah, so if you're interested in renewables, especially wind turbines, they did take a bit of, they were pretty slow because it's a big technology and you need the land. But wind is currently picking up a lot. I've just had the other day a call with a farm business who said we want to like 4 wind turbines and we got the land. So that was really interesting. And it was really windy. I could hear from the telephone that like the wind was there. So I was like, definitely we'll do a bit of feasibility assessment just to check a few things. But yeah, so wind is really interesting. But also when it comes to the MCS, being an installer. So if you're interested in installing these renewables, whether it's a heat pump or a solar panel, one trend that's also going on is the weight. So I went to an event the other day and they had solar panels and I could actually pick it up. Like the weight is so slim. Like before it was about, these things, it need to be handled by 2 or 4 people. But nowadays I think one person can really pick up those panels. So I was really surprised with that. And they said still really, really energy efficient, and yeah, they improve on it. So you could be really technical and get into the role of I want to be out there in the field and install and be installer, or like a retrofit assessor if you love maths and evaluation, or you could be like an energy consultant, so giving that advice, and really if you love working from home as well, I think that works. And a lot of people currently with all the digital things going on. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of opportunities and bigger things coming up. And again, as I said, AI is one thing as well. So they're looking into how people can, or how organizations can really utilize AI to kind of enhance their customer service and processes. So that's also one thing. So if you have like, I have a passion in AI. Sometimes I'm studying AI at my own time, but then I'm like, whatever I studied, can I actually implement it? One thing I actually do is for my own processes, I do use Copilot, ChatGPT in my day-to-day work. So everyone's like, so how come you're everywhere? And I'm like, I do have the time. So using these tools as a productivity toolkit, I think is so important as well. It will just give you back a lot of time in terms of learning as well. So a lot of organizations are picking up on how can we use Copilot to onboard a lot of the newer people as well. So there's a lot of trends. So if you have interest in technology, you could always combine it with the energy sector. And if you have also interest in another background in another sectors, you could also bring it on. So one thing I love about this sector is you could utilize your skills. So it's like I'm doing one thing now, but then how can I link it to the experience or the skills I have? And it always fits in. Like it might take a while to figure it out, but yeah, the one thing I love about it is that it's a fast-moving sector. You get to hear about all the different news and what's trending. But yeah, currently it's the renewables and the wind turbine.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Pfizer. And like I say, it's really great to hear about all the different sides to the industry and all the different opportunities out there. And like I say, I thought AI potentially would come up in this question because it's the big emerging technical topic in most industries at the moment, isn't it? So it's fantastic to hear how that's improving your work, but also, in influencing the industry as well. So thank you so much for that. And thanks everyone for their questions as well. That does bring us to the end of today's session. So if you do have any further questions, please do just reach out to our email address that we've got on the screen there, and with any questions you might have around the application process or the programme. Or Pfizer has very kindly offered for anyone to connect with her on LinkedIn as well, if you do have any questions as well there. But again, thank you everyone for attending today. And like I say, it has been recorded, and so it will be available on YouTube for anyone to watch back over. I know we had some quite text-heavy slides around the curriculum, so it'd be really helpful for you to go back, pause those, and recap and digest that information. And an absolutely huge thank you to Pfizer for joining us. Your insights were so valuable, and it's fantastic just to hear about how you, your experience before the bootcamp, on the bootcamp, and beyond, and just how much you're thriving now and succeeding within your role. So it's brilliant to hear. So thank you so much, everyone, and I will go ahead and end the live stream now. And good luck, everyone, with your applications, and I really look forward to seeing how you progress. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Grace.